Dear comrades, as we are approaching the 77th anniversary of the great victory of 1945, I would like to say a few things about fascism that, in my opinion, have to be remembered. Here in Russia, since after the dissolution of the USSR, we see that day mostly as a holiday, as non-binding celebration. The evil had been securely crushed by our ancestors. They saved our lives and relatively peaceful dwelling today. The truth is, despite all the heroism and tremendous sacrifices, nothing was completely secured in 1945. As Marxists and materialists, we should be honest to ourselves, and we should give fascism a definition it deserves. Fascism is the most extreme form of capitalism in decay. Fascism, as Georgy Dimitrov once formulated it, is a terroristic dictatorship of financial capital. Fascism is in fact the capital itself, armed to the teeth, and no longer masqueraded by the worn cover of liberal democracy. Like in a school chemistry class, once you mix all necessary ingredients, you get a very predictable outcome. The ingredients are still here: private property over the means of production, financial monopolization, extreme poverty and excessive wealth, the ongoing economic crisis which is dragging humanity into another global war. As soon as capital feels insecure, it starts looking for the best way to guard itself against the revolting masses. This is when the idea of interclass solidarity shows up. Fascists begin to preach that despite of all the contradictions and inequalities, people have to unite under something more important, under the idea of fatherland, blood and soil, nation, religion, tradition, or anything else but people's essential interests, class interests. This is how the tree of bourgeois patriotism is planted and grown. This is why fascism is often called solidarism and also idealism. Idealism is a prerequisite, a mandatory condition for fascism, as it makes every man and the society as a whole to forget about reason. Reason is vilified. Rationality and science are busted as a threat. Don't dare to think, as all you have to do is believe. You have to believe in the unity of opposing classes, in the pacifying force that makes all contradictions fade. Unsurprisingly, anyone who challenges that will be targeted and hunted. That's why communists and Marxists are the number one enemy for every fascist regime. All other aspects of fascism are debatable, but these characteristics should not be overshadowed by some insignificant features. Fascism isn't about uniform. Fascism isn't about sex. Fascism means class terror and forceful subjugation of labor. If you take a look at the world through this lens, you would see that the specter of fascism triumphantly survived 1945. Fascism did spread around not only with the ex-Nazis, who escaped justice or went into hiding in Canada, the US, or Latin America. Fascism was reproduced, and it is taking over one country after another today. Maybe we haven't yet arrived to a point where we would have fully fascistic governments, but we do have dozens of countries with the cadaveric spots of fascism all over. It is a rather grim picture, given that the world now possesses much more efficient means of self-annihilation. From a dialectical point of view, it has to be noted, fascism is also the final convulsion of capitalism, and it signals the approach of a new era, the new era that will follow, inevitably follow. Even the masses organized by fascists will inevitably revolt in the end. Big question is how soon and at what price. And that's why the dilemma we're facing today is unchanged. As Rosa Luxemburg once said, it is still either socialism or barbarism. She didn't yet know what fascism was. Her killers knew. Let us not forget. Let us remember not only the outstanding heroism of the Soviet people, of the Chinese people, of the Greek and Yugoslav communists, but also of all anti-fascists, of all nations. And let us remember that the danger is still here. It is still present. Let us be vigilant and aware so that none of us will ever be fooled by false patriotism and fake solidarity. Happy Victory Day.